Hey, what's up, guys? So, in this video, I'm going to answer a question that I have recently received, and that is if I think that prison can make a person racist. Very good question, something that is not often discussed, but I'll go ahead and give you guys my best answer. So, I think it's important for people to realize first that jails and prisons are often the only time in anyone's life where they are even exposed to and living within a world where people are segregated still. All right? So in the free world, there doesn't exist segregation like that. There does, demographically, but not blatantly, not as part of the institutional structure and how things are run in the way that they are in jails and prison. You are separated by race immediately. All right? It's not everywhere. I'm sure there are exceptions to this, and I know that in some states it is more so the case than in others. But for the most part, you're going to fall in with your own kind, whatever your own kind is. Whether you be white, whether you be Spanish, you be black, if you are of a minority group that doesn't have a strong presence, like if you're a Middle Eastern, you're Chinese, you're Indian, you're typically gonna have to fall in with someone or be much more vulnerable to victimization because you're on your own and you have no one to back you up. So to answer the question, yes, prison can very easily make one a racist. And the reason goes beyond what I just said, that you're separate in terms of race, obviously, but it goes into the fact that there's so much infighting inside the institution and blame. So when you're segregated amongst yourselves already, and there are problems and difficulties that are going on within the institution, your group is automatically going to point the finger and blame the other group. And likewise with them back to you. So because of that, the blame factor is going to be a huge contributor in how you ultimately feel about differences in race. If you're there for years and years and years and you just continually see, okay, that the problems are coming from that group, the fights, whatever we have to deal with is coming from that group. Eventually, with that and the fact that all the people around you are telling you what garbage and piece of shits that group is, you are going to become in some way resentful towards another group, a different group than you and your own. And with that resentment, in time, as more things occur and as you hear more of this from your side and you're, in this circumstance, you can turn to a racist. You can become racist completely. So it's not that difficult for someone to become a racist. For example, you could be a racist against black people if you feel and are convinced and are being told that the black people are the reason why we have to fight. You can easily start hating Spanish people if you're constantly being told that they're the ones who are doing all the bad and they're the ones who are trying to victimize others. And likewise, if you're black or if you're Spanish, you could very easily become racist towards the white people and say, fuck these white people. These white people are the controllers of the institution. Fuck them. They're the reason why we're in here. So it's a complicated thing. It's not an easy thing to really delve into because there are so many variables and so many factors at play that most people in life, in society, don't understand and will never encounter because they're not in those places. Only when you're in those places do you actually understand the dynamic of it and how things work and realize how easily you can become something that either you don't want to become or that you had no intention of becoming. But that's the way it goes, and that's the reality. And likewise with gangs. A lot of guys go to jail and go to prison thinking I'll never be a gang member, And within their first 6 months, all of a sudden they're tatted up and they're gang members. And the reason and the answer to why that could happen is the same as the racial question. It's just circumstance. It's your surroundings. You hang around people long enough, eventually you will be defined by those same people around you and how they are. So I hope this video answered the question, guys. And I also hope, as always, that none of you ever have to actually go through these kind of things and experience what I'm talking to you about. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.